Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Violent Wrestling Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ambrose Alley, otherwise known as AA, and with me we have the
Mox.
and our special guest once again, who saved our bacon and is probably going to save it, Metal Matt.
Metal.
Bacon.
All right, Homer. This has been trying, to say the least.
Been experiencing
Finally.
technical difficulties the past couple of weeks, which we would like to apologize for.
Yes, absolutely. Last week's did not go according to plan between the technical stuff and me being sick and like literally mid sentence, like bailing out of a conversation. Sorry.
Or my internet dropping me and really screwing things up.
And hopefully
So if I
tomorrow you.
So if I drop out tonight, that's why it's my crappy internet. Hopefully, I will have it all taken care of tomorrow when I get a new internet service.
Whoop, whoop. We do apologize for we apologize for last week's basically clusterfuck. But we also want to thank Metal Matt for being our
Saving our bacon.
yeah our lifeguard. Like, thank you so much, dude. Yeah.
No problem, man. Glad to do it.
But
My internet connection, I can watch what Metal Matt's going to be discussing on the Ruthless Aggression era on his podcast Friday night.
Yep,
So it'll be
AA
fresh
is
in
going.
my mind.
Yep, AA is going to be joining me because we're going to be talking about Vengeance 2003 this Friday.
nice, so much better
I had to
than
plug it.
Vengeance 2002.
Yeah, that's what I remember it being, but I haven't watched it in quite a while. So, and coincidentally enough, something to wrestle with did an episode on Vengeance 2003 just last week.
Yeah, pure coincidence. Vengeance 2002 sucked so
Yeah,
bad.
it did. Like the main event was pretty good, but other than that, there wasn't much.
This is why I don't. I think you don't like me. You make me watch and listen to the. Well, God bless you.
Excuse me.
Like the worst stuff possible. Like, what fool could I find to watch this and then not only watch it, but then let's talk about it. Like, hey, Mox is there. Mox is always game. He's a glutton for punishment. Like that. I know your trick. And AA, you went to Rocky Mountain Pro again this past weekend.
Yeah, I did 2 shows this past weekend.
Well, tell us about it.
Oh, let's see. The first was Friday night, and it took place in Denver, Colorado, at the Rack House. And the Regal twins were there, which was great. Always love watching them guys. It was fun. It was a whole different venue than what they usually do. You could get more rowdy because the age limit was 21 and above. We didn't have to keep it PG.
Right.
And yes, beer glasses did get broken. Quite by accident, but they got broken.
Who all did you hit over the head with the beer glass, AA? I mean,
I didn't hit anyone over the That was Anaya going through a set of barrels that someone had set their beer glass on top of.
And that someone was not you.
It was not me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't.
No, giving you a hard time. And that
Then,
go ahead.
huh?
Uh,
No,
I'll,
go ahead.
well, that's Rocky Mountain Pro brings me so back to watching wrestling and Gillies in Pasadena, Texas, like, and how that worked. Like it brings me so back to that stage of when I became a wrestling fan 35 years ago, or whatever. Like, and it has that, especially when they do where they do the shows, like the venue. It brings me
Yeah.
back to, like, dude, this is a bar, or it's not like a theater venue or an arena. Like it brings me back to that. I can't say comfort because you're not supposed to be comfortable as a kid watching the hills and wrestling, but it watching on Twitch and stuff, like, oh, where I'm like replacing people, like back in my time or back in my day, like, oh, take this person for that person. Yeah, people were having a good time.
Well, that's what I get. That's what I get and enjoy it. And I can't wait for the story to unfold and all that wonderful stuff. And then Saturday, I went to Romero's Canine Club and Tap House in Lafayette, Colorado. Got to see the Regal Twins again, plus my favorite wrestler, Curtis Cole.
Kurt
Um,
Cole, Curtis Cole.
so it was another great night of great wrestling. That one I did get a little tipsy because there were some friends, and we ended up with a free small can of sake.
Oh wow.
Ooh, that stuff's terrible. But we couldn't let it go to waste.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do that, for the environment and everything. Like, no waste. But no, I've tried. Nah, no, thank you. Nope. Like, it,
And I got a couple nice hugs from Curtis. He's a great hugger.
like, is he Bailey level hugger? Like, when you say hugger and we're talking about wrestling, like Bailey's the hugger, right?
No, no, his are more genuine hugs. Or no, it's the real
Ooh,
strong, powerful hug.
ooh, shade. I like it. I like it a lot.
Bay heel.
Oh, and this is where, and I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, and then we'll come back. Like, let the story tell out before. Oh my God, they ruined Becky or Becky. Oh shoot, that's really skipping ahead. Sorry, Matt. The Bailey and the Bailey and Sasha. Like, let it play out. Just let it play out.
Excuse
Like,
me for a minute, guys.
no, there is no excuse. That's what I like about the smaller promotions. I mean, I like all of wrestling basically. Like the things like Rocky Mountain Pro, the story behind the actual storytelling in the ring. Like, I like that. And like AA's been going for a while now too. pretty much all the shows she can see. Oh, okay. What's going to happen next week or what's going to happen tomorrow night? To me, that's wrestling. And you did a very solid. You're probably going to do it anyway, but you watch the Major League Wrestling Rumble Riot
Yeah, MLW Battle Riot.
or Battle Riot. Sorry, I said Raw. I really right. Just I don't. What was on this card?
Well, there are really only 3 matches on the card. It's a 2-hour show, but the majority of the show was the Battle Riot match itself. And I guess we can go ahead and just kind of talk about it now. And I was going to wait until for AA to finish her Rocky Mountain Pro, but
Yeah, I didn't mean to
oh, that's
step
fine.
on toes. You never know if it's Cassie or the cat.
Right. But yeah, there were really only 3 matches on the show. The first 2 matches were they were fine, I guess. They really weren't. They weren't anything special. They were what they were.
What were the matches?
Well, the first matches. Well, the announcers for the show were Tony Schiavone and Matt Striker.
That's what I heard. I've never watched a split second of MLW.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone is the main commentator there. Last week they had a different cover commentator. I don't know if they just switch out cover commentators or if I don't know what they do, but because this is only my second time watching MLW. I just started watching it last week because the channel that comes on like what was the channel? It was like BN Sports or something like that. Yeah, BN Sports. I didn't even know I had the channel in the first place on Dish Network. I didn't even know I had the channel. And then I'm just on the guide. I see BN Sports. I see Major League Wrestling and Major League Wrestling Fusion. I'm like, what? Like, okay, I'll give this a shot. And last week's episode was pretty good. There was a hardcore match. Where Sue Young interrupted a match. Then there was Jimmy Havoc versus 50 Tom Lawler in a hardcore match, a grudge match that was really good. The main event was Low Key versus Shane Strickland for the MLW title, in which Low Key won the title.
And I'll probably get crap all over this, but I think Low Key's overrated.
He's a good wrestler, but he just seems like kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, like he can do things in the ring, but it takes more than just, hey, I can do that. Like I can see why he didn't make it in WWE, if that makes sense. Without
I can see why as well. Yeah, like he's doing this Hitman gimmick now, like based on the video game Hitman, and I think he collected $6,000 for beating Shane Strickland for the title, and he has a manager, Selena Di Renta, who is very good.
Can we touch on the small fact of just everybody take a breath and you put Tony Schiavone and Matt Striker doing commentary while you're watching wrestling? Like that's such an, I don't want to say odd, but they're both so over the top.
Tony Schiavone is actually a bit more subdued here. Like he's not quite as over the top as he was in WCW.
You mean it's not the greatest day in history of our sport?
No, he never really goes that far from what I've heard of him so far. Matt Striker just, God, he's terrible. He is just a terrible commentator. And I don't know, like it just feels I don't know. At times, he can come across a bit too inside. I guess you could say.
Yeah, and he does that in Lucha Underground.
Yeah, like in the Battle Riot, going a bit in advance here, but Tom Lawler ends up tapping out Kevin Sullivan, Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan, and he says like, I can't remember exactly what he says, but like it's a huge compliment that Kevin Sullivan chose to tap out. I'm like, what are you talking about?
And see, this is the same Matt Striker that season one, I want to say, of Lucha Underground. We don't slap thighs here.
Yeah,
Referring, breaking kayfabe. The noise is real, kind of thing. And you're not adding anything to the commentary. B, you're just completely shitting all over like the sound effect stuff of,
right.
oh, he just got kicked in the head, but it's actually somebody slapping their thigh. See, yeah, you do slap thighs in Lucha Underground. D, and the biggest part, it it's a studio TV show, and I don't know, sometimes it's done, in house. You have a clapper that makes it sound like, I'd rather have somebody slap their thigh and make it seem legit versus the two wooden pieces and clap.
Right. Matt Striker, as a wrestling commentator, exposes the business.
And I guess that's the thing. He's good. I like his back and forth sometimes with Vampiro. Um,
Vampiro.
yeah, but that he tries to. Matt Striker is so hit and miss with me. Like sometimes he's really good, and then sometimes like, dude, what the? Are you? Why? Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah. Match
Um,
on the show. Oh, go on.
right. No, I
Oh,
was gonna ask you about what else happened.
that's what I was going to do. The first match was Cotto Brazil versus Byron Reed, and that was just it was an okay match. It was what it was. It was fine. It
Like,
was like very fast paced and very like high flying. It was what it was. It was one of those kind of matches.
typical, like a typical opening match, kind of nothing spectacular, but hey, good enough to what's the next match, kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And we also got some very interesting news because in October, LA Park's coming to MLW.
That and I keep up with wrestling a lot. What LA Park are we talking about? Are we talking
I
about
believe
the,
I
the
believe it's like the
Barca?
original. Yeah, I think that's who it is, LA Park.
Okay, okay, because that
Because they were showing
I've
footage of
never.
like old ECW, so I think that's who it is. I
Okay,
could be wrong, but I think it is LA Parker. But now he's LA Park.
okay, because it and even now, like there's, and I haven't delved into find out who's doing what and what promotion where they're going, but I just because I get a headache just thinking about, like, you have La Parca, you have LA Park, you kind of in some resemblance to what Pentagon Jr. Damn, man, he went through. It's like every promotion there for a while. It was different name. Okay, but obviously that not quite the same. But damn. And what was the second match?
Oh, the second match was Joey Ryan versus MJF in a match to crown the first ever MLW World Middleweight Champion.
Joey Ryan with MJF.
It was a decent match. I think it was better than the first one, but the wrong guy won.
Let me guess, MJF.
Yeah, MJF won. And let me tell you, MJF is the most generic wrestler ever. Like he has this like rich guy character, and it's like it is just so unoriginal. Like when you are making me nostalgic for Kona Reeves in NXT, that's when you know you're bad.
Hey, I finally got back in.
Hey,
We missed you.
Well, thank you.
We won't do phrasing or anything, but
Come for just. There was an error loading your app. What app?
Uh-oh.
Okay, this works. You hear me?
I can hear you.
yep.
Okie dokie. I
Okie dokie, Sophie.
don't know. We do. So I'm sorry I interrupted.
No? What about your finishing thoughts on Rocky Mountain Pro? The two shows you saw.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Did you want to?
The next one I'm going to be going to, which is going to be 8 years. It's their 8th year anniversary.
Without divulging too much, did you want to touch on maybe or maybe not a tweet that was sent that
I mean, the one that got me blocked?
Yeah, they got you blocked by a certain wrestler, and how?
Or whatever. But I said, next time they meet, Curtis Cole was going to wipe the mat with Tyler Stinson. That's all I said. Okay, and then I did with Team Curtis Forever. And they defended Tyler, the character. Pretty sure it was the character. He was doing the character. It offended him, and he blocked me.
And I get why some do it and not just anybody famous. But A, you said nothing wrong. B, you promoted him, like you added him, like at Tyler. Like he could have.
But I promoted the feud between him and Curtis Cole.
Yeah, he could have replied, I'm gonna wipe the mat with Curtis Cole. But you might be in the wrong industry, the wrong business. I'm upset. I'm going to block who somebody is obviously a fan of to even know Curtis Cole and Tyler, and know when Rocky Mountain Pro is airing and we're going to be live. Like, you don't block those kind of fans or people.
Curtis liked it.
I know.
The tweet.
And I had just seen it. This happened yesterday, and I had just seen it. I just got on Twitter, and so I'm like, oh, and like you're being a fan. You're keeping it kayfabe. And I don't get that because it happens more often than not, and we've lost her.
No.
And she's back.
Yay.
It's a roller coaster, Michael.
The ultimate thrill
I'm back.
ride.
It
But it
it's not like
was
they're
it's funny.
Dwayne Johnson or Roman Reigns or they have millions of followers or whatever. Like you're actually a little bit at a time. Like you're getting their name out there. Like maybe somebody would have checked that out. Like, well, who's this Tyler guy? And I just don't get the mentality of blocking someone that's actually, even in a small way, putting your name out there like that. Just, I mean, if somebody would,
And I really didn't put him down.
but
You're your fave over feuding with.
yeah, like for instance, if some, violent wrestling podcast fucking sucks, but they tag us in it. Like, hey, well, at least thanks for listening. Like, thanks,
Yeah.
even if it's one time, thanks for listening enough to have an opinion about it. Don't. If that makes
I
sense
just
at
think
all.
funny. It makes sense. So what were you guys talking about while I was fighting with my internet?
MLW, Major League Wrestling, and Matt watching it, and we were on the. He says there's 3 matches, including the Battle Royal. We were on the second match.
Yeah, well, the second match was MJF, I believe. Yeah, MJF versus Joey Ryan for the world middleweight champion. To crown the first ever world middleweight champion. MJF won. The wrong guy won, in my opinion. MJF is generic as hell. Just a generic rich guy character. When I immediately am nostalgic for Kona Reeves in NXT, that's when you know you just kind of screwed up as a character.
In my opinion, I like Joey Ryan. I do
Same.
the dick flip stuff. It's just uh, but once that's like out of the equation, just like here lately with Shinsuke with like Joey Ryan's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
MJF, not so much.
Yeah, he's not the worst wrestler ever, but he's just kind of he's just generic. Like everything
Yeah,
about him is generic.
I think if they gave him something different than what he's been doing, like maybe he's not like just oh my god, it's Cameron Divas era stuff. Like he's serviceable, and times have been good, but yeah. And in defense of MJF, I haven't seen a lot of him outside of CCW. Everything has to be over the top, hardcore stuff. So raise your hand if you watch Raw this week.
I did.
I did.
I I don't remember it, but I know I watched it.
Yeah.
It's been so, and it's hard to articulate. I watched it, and it seems like such a, because it actually is, to some degree, a rehash of what we've been going through for 3 months. And I'm not talking about Roman Brock. I'm about Seth, Dolph, Kevin
Right.
Owens, Bray, Braun Strowman. Like, we just went through this build up towards the pay per view, and we're gonna redo it.
Like SummerSlam, it's just a bunch of rematches.
On the Raw side, for sure.
Like
That's
the only like original match so far that's been announced maybe Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, because
yeah.
that's a
On the
match
SmackDown, yeah,
that we haven't seen before in WWE.
the SmackDown side is obviously winning the, the. Did we just see this contest? Because SmackDown is doing, but the Raw side is, hey, like even take into account Roman and Brock. Like, not only did we just see that at WrestleMania 34, we saw it at Greatest Royal Rumble. It's so rehashed, and then you get things like where there's a definitive. Shouldn't an Iron Man match be a definitive end to a feud? But no, let's do Dolph and Seth again, and not only do it again at SummerSlam, but let's do it again weekly in some way. Whether it's Seth versus Drew or what have you. Like, it, Raw is such a, and I use so much data on Raw that I'm really regretting my data usage watching Raw. I like the show. I'm not trying to shit all over Raw. But good lord. Come up with something. Apparently, I've spoke too much.
That wore you out?
I just don't get it. Like, I get it, but I
Right.
don't. Like, I mean, there. It used to be like the end all match would be an Iron Man match, Hell in a Cell later on. Like that's where the feud ends. Like one of those two, or maybe another stipulation, like I quit or something like that. But the previous pay per view to be Iron Man and hey, SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer. Fuck. Oh, I hate that damn tagline. And let's and they may change it to a triple threat or Dean may show up. Okay, but the Iron Man match should have ended that feud. Like, dude,
Yeah.
as messed. Well, they messed up the Iron Man match to begin with, but even then, the outcome's like, I beat you, Iron Man match. Who's next? It shouldn't be like, oh, you're still here.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's not particularly interesting, really.
I, and
Like the
Well,
Brock
I did like the
stuff
backstage
was,
segments with Brock.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Brock stuff is interesting, which I never thought I would say about Brock Lesnar that he was interesting, but they were able to do it.
and that's funny because I didn't say that loud or anything watching, but they made it so uninteresting that it's interesting.
Right.
Who gives a shit about anybody on a couch reading a magazine? Oh, and then how it played out
Some
through the
great
night.
memes from it.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do have that as well. But it Raw, I don't know why, but Raw is such a holding pattern. Obviously, the two components are Brock being Universal Champion and Roman. And,
Chase.
how do you get X Y to go to Z? But that doesn't take away from okay, there's this scene or this story being told that we're trying to tell. It trickles down the entire card so bad that it's, yeah. And don't get me wrong now. Also, you have to keep in mind I have a 9-year-old son watching with me, so it makes it better.
They always do.
The day I break kayfabe with him, and I do this is just pure shit. Is the day I might stop wrestling or watching wrestling. I'll I'll give some hints here and there. I'll give some oh that sucks or oh that's dumb or whatever. But the day I introduce him into dude, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. Like he has no idea outside of kayfabe about Brock, and you know he knows Brock showed up at UFC. We were watching it, and I never want to do the you know sit on my lap, son, sit on my knee, and let me tell you what's really happening. I call it the Santa Claus effect. You'll figure it out soon enough. Santa Claus is real. Everything.
He is.
He is. He's a fat old bastard, but he's real. What else on Raw sticks out in your mind?
Bailey and Sasha are officially a tag team now. Have matching gear, and they are now known as the Boston Hug Connection.
And they made sure. I don't know whether it God bless Michael Cole or shut Michael Cole, but they made sure to make their they're wearing matching outfits. They're the Boston Hug. Connection came out, what, 2 years ago when Bailey or Sasha turned face. I think on Bailey's debut. Hey, we're the Boston Hug Connection.
Yeah, I think so. I got Battleground.
But they're driving the point home. Uh, See, they're friends. They're wearing matching clothes. See, they have a name. See, see. Oh, and don't forget Evolution, October 28th. Don't you forget it.
Oh, I'm sure WWE will never let us forget it.
It's such a. I don't mind the story they're telling of, say, for instance, a, and I'm not saying anything bad about MLW. I don't matter. Hey, you and I are best friends. We can argue, we can disagree, we can get into a tip, but in the spectrum of storytelling on WWE, the writing's on the wall of, hey, we're going to do this at SummerSlam, but oh shit, um, actually, we're going to do tag team women's champions, and we want you to be a part of that. So let's forget about that and go on. And friends fight, friends come back together, but it's the the blatancy of what they're doing. Yeah, I like it. I like them as a tag team. I really wish they'd do the 3D on WWE TV. If the bank statement or the, what we call there, the bank statement actually so called, and on it. Jumping up into a daily to belly, that doesn't quite work so well. I talk too much now.
No, you don't. You're explaining your feelings on something. That's a good thing.
I, well, I mean, I think everybody wanted them to feud because that's where they were going, and then like this has been 180, which I can also see and also like. It's just who else? Okay, you have Bailey and Sasha. They're a team. Boston Hug Connection. Who else you got?
The Riot Squad.
Who else you got?
I think that's it, really.
Exactly. Like you, and that's what I think will be an issue is the randomness of, hey, we're gonna put so and so and so and so, which is kind of a, it's not randomness putting Sasha and Bailey together, but um, like on SmackDown, why is Lana and Naomi? How did that happen? Why did it happen? Like, but on Raw specifically, you have AA is dropping it like it's hot. dropping the mic.
I tell you, it's my connection.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I can't wait for tomorrow.
This is AA's PSA of don't move to Wyoming.
It's moved to Wyoming.
Beaches
It's
and
not that bad to
Cheyenne.
live here. There's no state income tax.
But what about the beaches of Cheyenne?
Beaches? What's a beach?
That's the joke. Sorry, I went Garth Brooks for a second. So I'm disappointed in myself because I've used my data to watch Raw like every week. I guess out of habit, and I don't use my data to watch an hour less show of SmackDown. And apparently, SmackDown's been a lot better.
Uh, it has, but it still has its faults.
Well, we'll get into the faults in just a
Oh
minute.
boy, will we!
Hey, we
But
get to hear Metal Matt rant.
well, like you brought up earlier, at least going into SummerSlam, we get Joe versus AJ. Like that's
Yeah, and Joe's promo this week was fantastic.
Joe is a great promo. Like no, it's rare for Joe to have a bad promo than it is for him to have a good promo, good to great. Like Joe, something about Joe talking. Like, oh, um, it means business. Like you just get that vibe. At least I do. I can't speak for everyone, but when Joe, says, "I'm gonna hurt you," like, oh shit, dude's gonna hurt me. And you believe it. Oh, yep, my asshole just puckered a little because I don't want Joe anywhere near me.
Oh, he's just a big teddy bear.
Nice guy, but nope. Now when it comes to in-ring stuff, we're trying to do a promo back and forth. Joe will Joe. Joe will destroy. Well, let's go and get this over with. Matt, what was the big thing coming out of SmackDown?
Well, the big thing. Oh my god. All right, so Becky Lynch and Carmella start off the show with a little promo, and then Carmella ends up attacking Becky Lynch, and Charlotte makes her return to save the day. And by the end of the night, Charlotte beats Carmella, and she gets added to Becky Lynch versus Carmella. So it is now a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's title. Carmella defending the title against both Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Where do I even begin with this?
Dude, you have the floor. I'm not even going to interrupt you. Just go.
Okay.
99.9% sure you go. Matt, you have the floor. Go.
All right. So, look. I like Charlotte. I do. There's no freaking reason for her to be in this match. There's zero reason for her to be in this match. None at all. This really needed to be Becky Lynch versus Carmella. And like it's so unfair to Becky, like both in kayfabe and in real life. Like Becky Lynch, like just she pretty much had to beat the entire division, and I mean the entire division on SmackDown just to even be considered for a title shot. Then Charlotte comes back after just a couple months of inactivity. They never really like wrote her out or anything. She just kind of disappeared after Money in the Bank. And so after one night beating one person, she already has a title opportunity. It is absolute BS. And it seems like what they're going to try to do, like there's different ways they could go with this. They're either going to have Becky turn heel, or they're going to have Charlotte turn heel, or they're just going to have Carmella retain the title anyway. It's just I don't know what they're doing. Like it's so forced. It's so unnecessary. Like
And I agree.
they were telling a good story with Carmella and Becky Lynch. They were telling a good story. Becky Lynch has lost or just kind of been irrelevant for about a year. Becky Lynch works her ass off, works her way up to the top again, and she beats Carmella, dethrones the woman that has run roughshod on SmackDown. It's a great story. It did not need anybody or anything else in it. That's all you had to do. It's the easiest storyline you could do. It's that you had one job, WWE SmackDown, and you couldn't even do that.
Not enough cursing for my life.
I mean, it's just ridiculous what they're doing.
Girl, just just for my sake, I know you're straight edge and stuff, but they're like some cuss word at the end. Just for me.
I mean, where do you two stand on it?
It's bullshit. Like it's literal bullshit. I said two cuss words to make up for your lack of cursing. There, what reasoning is there behind any of it? There is none. You, like you said, the story is right fucking there. Don't complicate, overcomplicate. Don't. Okay, so maybe Charlotte gets left off with SummerSlam, or Charlotte is in a different feud coming back. Do that. Do not do what you did. Like that, we're finally getting the Becky's been held down. Excuse me. Becky's been held down. Repetitive, like story. Excuse me again. And now Becky gets her chance, and as soon as we know for sure after last week, like Becky gets her chance. Let's go, Becky. You fucking inject Charlotte into a triple threat. Like, dude, that's, you're doing it wrong.
like you could have easily had, like, if you really want to give Charlotte some kind of feud or some kind or something to keep her busy during SummerSlam, during the SummerSlam build. Honestly, just have her feud with the Iconics.
The
You could just do
iconic
that.
Oscar, Oscar with no stakes on the line. Just hey, a
Yeah, like
rematch
yeah,
for
yeah, have
WrestleMania. Like
Char, yeah,
fucking
have
anything other than interjecting her into the championship match. Anything.
yeah, like have Charlotte and Oscar versus the Iconics. You could
And
do
that would
that.
work. Yeah, anything. You could pick leaves off a tree. Like, hey, that works better than what they're doing. That, and I think everybody knows, the fandom, but not even as like a fandom like bias thing. That's so tough. Like it's so fouled. I mean, literally, as soon as Charlotte shows up, hey, here's your championship opportunity again.
It really does make Paige just look like a terrible GM.
And not as bad as Kurt.
Oh, not as bad as him, but
Yeah.
like
And
the character, like the character of Paige as GM, she has this really bad habit of just giving title shots out to people who either haven't earned it or haven't deserved it.
yeah, and before we get hate mail or anything, we're speaking strictly kayfabe.
Yeah,
Like
strictly
she does,
kayfabe.
yeah, she does do a lot of hey, and Daniel Bryan was the land of opportunity. But even during that time, opportunity means you have to beat so and so to earn your way to this match or that match. And now all of a sudden it's, I guess they're keeping the tagline going, but it's more of, oh, you're back. Or you did this. So guess what? You get a title shot.
So Dean comes.
Still, but sorry. If Dean comes back, hey,
AA, where are you?
hey, we need you. Hey, I'll go cry in the corner. I hear you. While we're waiting, between the rematches of Monday Night Raw and yeah, there's better to some degree stories going on SmackDown, and your biggest party of the summer. Like, dude, no, like, give Becky, I forget where I saw it, how this somebody said something about Becky's redemption story.
Yeah.
Well, how can it be a redemption story? Oh, well, I don't want to be condescending, but have you not watched Becky in 2 years or so? Like it's like I'm finally back on top. That's a redemption story.
Right.
just this year's been so.
I mean, do you think anybody's going to turn heel in this women's title scene?
And before I'll preface it by saying, you particularly have been replied to. I'm so sick of the. Everybody has to be. Charlotte's turning heel, and Charlotte doesn't work as a face, and yada yada yada. Well, I'm sick of hearing the Becky turning heel.
I mean, I can see why people want it. Like I can. I don't think it'd work, but I can at least see why people would want it.
Yeah, but on the same plane, you can't just say that kind of stuff without say Charlotte works perfectly as a face. I'm so sick of this shit. Like, hey, there's two roads on every street, or two ways on every street. Hey, sometimes there are two roads. It's been a while since I lived in the city. That's been neither here nor there. But I don't see, dude. I might just like X-nay WWE for a while if they do a Becky Hill turn. Like that's
Mm.
so.
I wouldn't stop watching WWE or anything like that. It wouldn't affect my
Well,
fandom of Becky, but at the same time, it would be a dumb thing to do. But this is also the same company that turned Sami Zayn and Nakamura heel for no reason. So I honestly I can see it happening. And,
I
and if it does and if it does happen, I cannot wait for it to blow up in their faces because you know it's going to happen. You
yeah.
know it's going to happen.
And Sammy, that's a good comparison. Nakamura and to some degree Sammy. Sammy's turn was he turned obviously, but he was protecting his best friend. You know, the only friend I have in life. It was saving him, which it was a hill turn. I'm not disputing that. And then he just ran with it and jerked. Uh, Becky turning, you literally have, excuse me, uh, it'd be hard to argue, and I have to preface this by saying, like, yeah, there will be some clicks and uproar and whatnot. You have the biggest baby face in the entire company. You don't, for the sake of it, Turner Hill, just the Turner Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be a swerve purely for the sake of a swerve.
Yeah, it it'd be like trying to recreate Hogan, joining NWO in '96, like, but to a far lesser degree, you're doing it just to do it, not for the long game of doing it.
Right. Like turning Becky heel at this point in time is probably the worst possible thing they could do. Like turning Becky heel now would be like turning Stone Cold heel, like right before WrestleMania 15 when he was doing his own redemption story.
Yeah, it's not the time nor place to turn Becky Hill at the moment.
Yeah.
It
I mean, I look, I get why people want it. Like, I really do. I feel like people want it purely so she'll be booked better.
Yeah, and that's the thing is book better. Um, all kinds of other things that quote unquote turning heel. I'm sure won't it won't fix that. Like that's not the cure all.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. Like, I think people, honestly, I think people really got spoiled by Neville's run when he was heel. Because now everybody thinks that if you turn heel, automatically you get better booking or you get a title run or something like that, and that's not always the case.
Yeah,
Sometimes that's the case, like
some
Neville or even Nikki Bella when she turned heel a couple years ago. She got that reign of terror with the Divas Championship. But with some people, that's not necessarily the case. Like Dolph Ziggler, he's doing fine now as IC champion, but when he did turn heel, it took him a couple years to get to that point. And
and
again, with
just to be
Paige,
honest,
she
just to
did
be
challenge
honest,
for the top. Go on.
just to be honest, Dolph Ziggler now in the moment is only working as heel because of Drew McIntyre.
Oh yeah, totally. And
That
like
that
even with someone like Paige, yeah, she was like the top heel of the Divas division for a while, but she never won. And it also happened at the expense that they were building up Paige so long as a face. You think she's finally going to win the title, but she not only does she not do it, but she turns heel, and even then she can't win it.
yeah,
So
and that's
I
like
could
a
see why people would want a heel turn just purely so people can get better booked, but it doesn't always work out.
yeah, and more so than not, does doing the especially now in this time and age, and the the turns don't quite mean what they used to mean.
Oh yeah, no, they don't. Not at all. Like like at times, like before, like a heel turn, like it used to mean something. It used to mean that you could freshen up a character. It used to mean that you could probably experiment a little. Now
Yeah,
it's just creative being lazy. Like creative just putting the least amount of effort possible in a face. And it's like, well, we don't know how to we don't know how to book this person as a face. Screw it,
we
turn him
don't.
heel. Just hope for the
Yeah,
best.
we don't fucked them up this much. Let's see what this does.
And even back then, it didn't really work all that much because I'm watching W 2003 right now, and they ended up turning Eddie Guerrero heel, and
Yeah,
like the heel turn, it was out of nowhere. It made no sense, and not a single person bought it. Not a single person bought it. Everybody just kept
yeah,
cheering them anyway.
and that's specifically staying on the Becky thing, dude. If she the line of the turn is so it's not even blurry anymore.
Yeah.
They're clamoring for turn Roman Hill. Once he turns Hill, quote unquote Hill, it's not the same. It's he won't get booed if that makes sense. Like just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
with
get what you mean.
if um, for instance a month ago, Bailey finally snapped and beat the shit out of Sasha. Bailey got cheered out of the building for finally having enough.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh my God, Bailey's a bad guy. Oh, boo. She jumped at poor Sasha. Sasha was just trying to help. No, I go, hell yeah. Which it isn't really um, because it wasn't a turn to begin with, but visually it was a oh shit. Bailey snapped and she's going after Sasha. But even if in the instance, if you take, oh, that's a turn, she's beating the shit out of Sasha and everybody loves Sasha and she's finally had enough, but now she's a bad guy. Everybody cheered it. Everybody wanted more of it. Like, beat her ass some more. And you see that throughout other storylines too. And I know it's kind of like a meme anymore about Ron just bullying Kevin Owens or anybody for that matter. But the actions say, "Dude, Michael Cole, you're a monster among men." But he gets cheered for it. But in the same show, we're going to do a similar story where with the bullies and stuff. Um, I get it, I like it, but um, you can't. In the same show, you can't have Braun Strowman just rake the shit out of Kevin Owens and then put Bailey and Sasha in counseling. Right.
Right.
Um, AA.
Yeah, where'd she go?
Where is she? AA. Buddy.
AA.
Final call. Last call. AA. We see you. Anything else to talk about this week?
The MLW Battle Riot itself, the match itself.
Okay.
So the first two entrants were Los Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix.
Nice.
Number 3 was Brody King. And number 4, Kenny from the Spirit Squad.
No way.
Yeah. And Filthy Tom Lawler was number 5, and he ends up getting the first elimination of the match when he chokes out Brody King. Yeah, like the match is like it's sort of a Royal Rumble. Like it's a battle royal. There's 40 wrestlers, pinfalls, submissions, and going over the top rope is how you are eliminated. And the winner gets a world title shot anytime, any place, anywhere.
I was gonna ask, like, how does submission work in a battle royal setting? Okay.
Yeah, so Lance Anoa'i and Ray Horace are also in the match as well. And then number 8, Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan.
How is she still wrestling with this woman?
I don't know.
I love me some Kevin Sullivan, but damn, dude.
Yeah, and Laura chokes him out as well, submits him. Number 9 is Falaba. And number 10 is Hornswoggle. and he German suplexes everybody, including Pentagon, and Pentagon has to sell it.
Are we talking like he was trying to do like a Brock Lesnar German
Yeah,
suplex thing?
exactly.
Oh,
Like actual German suplexes.
and people had to sell it.
Yeah.
Uh, that has to be some kind of gag.
Oh yeah, and before the actual match itself, Hornswoggle is picking out his number for the match, and the interviewer says, "Maybe you'll get lucky." And Hornswoggle, I swear to God, says, "Oh wow, did the XWE writer give you that?" And I'm like, "Wow, like whoever wrote that line is bitter."
Yeah, that that is so anti. And you get that a lot anymore. Um, anything opposite WWE, like that's Impact, TNA, whatever you want to call them, went through like, hey, here's this guy from WWE, and the first thing they would do or say is just shit all over to WWE.
Yeah,
What's funny about that though is like, Hornswoggle was just in a WWE ring.
yeah, like not that long ago.
Yeah, like it was next.
Oh, next up, Head Shrinker Samu.
I actually kind of miss the head drinkers. I miss that
Oh,
era.
I like the Head Shrinkers.
Yeah, they were so out there that like it was fun to watch. Kind of like the Bushwhackers.
Yeah. And he ends up getting eliminated by his son, Lance Anawa.
Are they doing a like a the New family spelling, or is that
I don't know.
sorry? I got distracted for a second, but like Roman Reigns and his last name A apostrophe NOAI.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
Hey,
I was just gonna say that ACH was next up, and Conan ends up entering the match. Barrington Hughes is the next one to be in the match. And they try to eliminate Fala Ba, and both the Lucha Bros are eliminated. They try to eliminate Barrington Hughes, and every single person, with the exception of Tom Lawler, gets eliminated as well.
surely you did not say Tom Arnold.
Yeah, Tom Lawler, filthy Tom
Oh,
Lawler.
okay. Sorry. I'm having a little thing here. I thought I heard.
You've been drinking too much.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, no,
hey!
no such thing. But I'm having a little small crisis here, and like I know Tom Lawler, but all of a sudden it sounded like. Anyway, keep going. And I can't find my super button. If I yell fire, funny part about it is it's in a box of water.
So Cato Brazil is the next person. He immediately gets pinned by Tom Lawler. And then Teddy Hart enters the match. And he eliminates himself immediately by hitting a moonsault on everybody outside the ring.
Did he pull like a Drew Carey kind of thing, or
I don't know what he was doing. He just enters the ring, just hits a moonsault outside the ring. I don't know
oh,
what the deal was with that.
huh?
Next guy in the match was PCO, formerly known as John Pierre Lafitte, back in WWE. How he's still wrestling, I have no idea.
DDP yoga.
Yeah, maybe.
It does wonders.
Oh, Vandal Ortegon was also in it, and even Mikey of the Spirit Squad was in it as well.
Oh wow.
And Simon Gotch was also in the match as well.
You know, trademark rules. You can't use his WWE name.
Well, that's what he's called in MLW.
They actually put the Simon. I thought it was just Scotch.
Yeah, they use Simon Gotch in MLW, I believe.
Oh,
He's part of Team Filthy with Filthy Tom Lawler and somebody else. I can't remember who. And then the next guy in the match, oh man, it's the Blue Meanie.
I know you say that sarcastically, but
No, the
I was.
Blue Meanie is in the match. I love the Blue Meanie.
That's what I was saying. Like you. Oh man, it's the Blue Meanie. I mean, dude, I love the Blue Meanie. Like I,
Oh, same here.
there's a special place for, and not a bad place, but dude, I I don't know what attracted me to being a BWO fan or Blue Meanie, but it did, like it happened. Like I guess looking back, like it wasn't supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to work. But damn it, if I didn't like, oh okay, I'm a Blue Meanie fan.
So next up, Homicide and the Dirty Blondes.
Uh, I can't stand the dirty ones.
I've never really heard of them, so I wouldn't know who they are. And so the Sammy Callahan is next in line.
Oh, um,
Go,
wait a second.
Sammy.
I was just saying. Wait a second, in case our internet's not that well. If you bring up Sammy Callahan, just wait a second, because AA will chime in.
Yep, so Sammy Callahan is in, as well as Davey Boy Smith Jr. We also get to see Sawyer Fulton, formerly of Sanity.
Wait a minute.
He's part of the Death Machines with Sammy Callahan. Shane Strickland is in the match as well. Immediately goes for Sammy Callahan, and Sammy Callahan and Shane Strickland really growing this kind of rivalry in the MLW. Sammy Callahan beat him down in an alley, and this Friday they're actually going to be facing off in a match.
Go, Sammy.
A never failed me.
Yeah. So Joey Ryan and MJF enter the match, and Team Filthy immediately eliminates them. The next one is Jack Swagger.
Did, did he actually come out to the? Surely not.
I don't think he did. Number 39, John Morrison.
Dude, I'm sorry, and this might sound. If you're married to Ty Valkyrie, you're A plus in my book. Just, just throw that out there.
So number 39 is John Morrison, and the 40th and final entrant in the match, Jimmy Havoc.
Go,
Nice.
Jimmy.
Yep. Nice.
So Jimmy Havoc gets eliminated, unfortunately. Drago was also in the match as well.
Oh, cool.
So the final two guys in the match, the final two guys in the match were Jack Swagger and Filthy Tom Lawler. And after a very long ankle lock by Jack Swagger, Lawler is eventually able to eliminate him. Filthy Tom Lawler wins the first ever Battle Riot match.
I was kind of hoping for Swaggy.
Yeah.
I was so hopeful that Swagger wasn't going to win. Like I'm so glad that Tom Lawler won because he is quickly becoming one of my favorite non WWE wrestlers. Like he really did win over the crowd in this match.
Filthy Tom Lawler is a star.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like and this was a discussion had that I didn't partake in the other day about independent wrestlers and WWE scooping people up. Tom Lawler's going to be, in my opinion, obviously, like, oh, okay, now we need this guy in a year, 2 years, whatever.
Yeah, I could see him being a big indie superstar.
Yeah, once like the major players like Riddle is gone, Keith Lee is gone, I definitely see Tom Lawler fulfilling that role of okay, making a name, and he already has. Don't get me wrong, but like I say, in a year or two, like who's the biggest out there we can get? I see it. One of them being Tom Lawler. That's
Yeah.
he's good at what he does. Like he's one of those that just gets professional wrestling.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for last week's episode of MLW Fusion, MLW Battle Riot. The Battle Riot match itself was good. The other two matches, they were fine, but they were what they were. But the Battle Riot match itself was great.
Yeah, that was the headline. Kind of like to a lesser degree. You don't watch the. There might be some good matches, but you watch the Royal Rumble for the
Right.
Royal Rumble. Um, can you? How do you watch MLW?
I watched it on BN Sports, but they also have all the episodes free on YouTube. Like MLW themselves uploads the episodes to their own channel, so it's available on YouTube as well.
I'll be checking it out, and any listeners, if you want to expand horizons and check it out too. Hey, you still with us?
I'm still here.
Nice.
Just feeling the effects of my drink.
I was going to say something to the effect of, well, Matt brought up Tim Callahan, so hey, he's watching some death matches. Or don't let A fool you. She likes the brutality. She likes the blood.
Not Lily White me.
Never, ever. And I'm sorry, my dog's barking in the background or coming through. It happens. Shut up.
Hey, the banging stopped on the roof.
Oh, well, I'd
It's
hope so. It's
quiet.
8:35 your time. I'd hope so.
Well, they had to hold off. They got rained out for a little bit of time, so they had to wait till the rain and the lightning stopped.
Oh, goodness. Um, I haven't even gotten into New Japan stuff, and uh, New Japan,
Lucha, lucha, lucha.
lucha. Okay, Kalisto. I do lucha things. Ah, my dogs and my son. Surely, I can hear that on my microphone, but um, New Japan, this series hasn't really been up to par. Like when I skipped pretty much the entire card and just went to watch this one or two matches. But we're talking about the G1 with tournament style, and there's been little to no. Hey, you have to see this match or you have to see that match. It's been so lackluster. I don't know. I'm speaking foreign to both of you, but New Japan just I think they're going somewhere. I know they're going somewhere. The last 2 weeks haven't been like what it has been before. Yeah, nope, no, thank you. But Raw was okay. The YouTube videos I've seen from and what I've heard about SmackDown was also okay. Um, Matt is once this ends, I will definitely describe subscribe to MLW. Rocky Mountain Pro just seemed like something I want to follow. Like if I was in the area, oh, I'm going to that show, I'm going to this show, and I'm going to that show because it takes me back to from Houston to San Antonio to Austin, way back in the early '80s. Like, oh, that's cool. other than that, let's see either one of you guys had anything to say.
I think that's just about it for me. I can't really think of anything else.
I can't think of anything else. I mean, I just saw the current episode of Lucha Underground.
I haven't seen it, and
Now,
I know my.
what I will say this,
Say what
I'm
you
not
have
going
to
to
say.
spoil it.
I haven't seen it, but go ahead.
It's just that if you watch it from the very first episode, something seems to be going on between Katrina and Mil Muertes.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to find out what exactly is going on. That is the storyline that's got me riveted.
Well, you just say the name Katrina, and I'm riveted. Oh, sorry. Bad joke.
Easy,
Bad.
Tiger.
Katrina would eat you alive.
Well, here's to hoping.
I don't think Candace would like it. I think
No.
Candace could give Katrina a run for her money.
Now that I would front row seats though. Well, I can't see shit. Well, who cares?
Wait a minute. You come out the winner either way.
Exactly. Like I can't lose.
I got to figure out how Candace comes out the winner either way.
Like, it's as far as I'm concerned, it's a win-win scenario. So
For you,
but
unless of course you have to end up facing Mil Muertes if you end up with Katrina.
Damn it, pessimist. Like, yeah, that would be the downfall of no thanks. Like, I'm out. Nope.
But that's all I want to say about Lucha, because I'm not going to say what happened on tonight's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I DVR'd it, so I'm gonna try and watch it later this week.
Yeah, no spoilers.
I will tell you one thing, Middleman. You will be shocked by one thing. And I'm not going to say what it is. I'm going to make you watch it.
I'm only up to like episode 2 of this season, 2 or 3. I don't watch it, nefarious ways, but dang, it's hard to find the new Lucha Underground episodes. However, make sure, and I'll preface this by saying AA, aka Ambrose Alley, towards the end of September, October, is leaving us, going to a trip to Vegas, so we're still in.
Well, before that, I'm also leaving for a trip to go down to Arkansas.
Okay.
And see relatives. I'm going to be gone for about 3 weeks.
Boo.
Boo. Get out of here. You're no longer
But
welcome.
I will try to make the podcast because I will have my laptop with me.
Ooh. Can we get a Kurt Angle? You suck. You suck. No. Okay.
I'll be like Kurt Angle and just breathe it in.
That's more of a Chris Jericho.
Whoa. Before you get started, I have something to say.
Oh gosh darn it.
I don't suck. I don't suck. Oh
Dang it.
man, that album's going to be fun to listen to. Just you wait, Mox.
I already listened to the first 3 tracks and I started to say something in the daily. Oh, dude, you had to realize, like, I have love for you to be able to. Oh my goodness. Like, the shit you put me through, and for me to not just, like, okay, unfriend this or unfollow, like, don't ever speak to him again. You put me through hell. Like, literally. And for those that don't know, there might be a time between now and October 5th when I have to review WWE originals with
I mean,
one wing
at
angel.
least Angel will be there to
Yeah.
kind of help you.
Um, my friendship with Metal Matt might change between now and but yeah, podcast as far as that goes, and if AA can do the Wednesday thing when she's on vacation, which
I,
we all need a little vacation.
I'll be able to do hopefully I'll be able to do the Wednesday podcast during my vacation, and I'll be in the same time zone as you, Mox.
Now you'll actually be more out of my. Oh well, the first one when you're in Arkansas, yeah, you'll be in my time zone. When you get to Vegas, you're going to be two. You'll be on the West Coast.
No, Vegas is central.
No, it's not. Arkansas Central.
Arkansas is central and Vegas is central.
No,
Yep.
no,
Yep.
no,
Yep.
no.
Maybe.
According to my takeoff and landing times, yeah, it's central.
Well, they're wrong. I'm right. Um, mind happens every time. Morris wants to. Hey, you've been outside on the phone for a while. Let me mess with the dogs. Shut up, Elmo.
I thought
But
that was Elmo.
yeah, Morris, can you please stop? Yep, that's Elmo. He's got that. Oh,
Hi,
hey,
Morris.
we're
Hey,
live.
Morris.
Hey, hey! Hey, hey! How are you guys?
We're doing good, Morris.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
over here
I'm just sitting over here playing with my Hot Wheels. Shut up, Elmo. Wow, we really need to rethink our. Shut up.
This is adorable.
Rethink the name of because everything this time once it gets later like should just I don't want to say fall apart because it doesn't, but hey, here's my 9-year-old, here's my damn dogs that won't shut the hell up. They hear you.
Hey, can you hear me on the computer?
Yes, they hear you on the computer.
Yep.
You're silly, Billy.
He's the star.
Okay, so where were we?
You mean before Elmo started?
Yeah, and Morse both. Um, I've never been to Vegas. I kind of want to go, but not. I don't have a desire. I'd rather be vice versa with you going to or me going to Australia to see hat than the other way around.
I still plan on going to Australia sometime.
Yeah, uh, that's one of them bucket list things for me.
Same here. I want to go to Australia and I want to go to the Tasmanian Devil Refuge.
Nice,
And see all
but
them cute Tasmanian devils.
you know those are. I know the cartoon, but you know those are like legit, right?
Yes, I know they're legit.
Okay. Oh,
Badgers.
speaking of Morris, like he's shown me so many videos. Like, hey, the Tasmanian Devils. Like, it's not so cartoonish that you see on TV, but like, yeah, those fuckers are great.
They're cuter than badgers.
Yeah, I can't say one way or the other. Wednesday nights, depending on time frame and what's going on, catch Violent Wrestling Podcast, like always. Friday nights, usually more time sensitive than ours.
Is
Catch Ruthless Aggression Podcast, and this week has Metal Matt or has Ambrose Alley as a guest for Metal Matt.
Reviewing Vengeance 2003, right?
Yep, indeed we are. And
Look,
also me and MDS, we finally got to record an episode on Backlash 2003. So that was really fun to do. So check that out as well. And this Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, brand new episode of Ruthless Aggression Area Podcast. Ambrose Alley is going to be on. We are going to be talking about Vengeance 2003, SmackDown's first ever pay-per-view SmackDown exclusive. We got Kurt Angle, Big Show, Brock Lesnar, triple threat match for the WWE title, aka Barroom Brawl. Undertaker, John Cena, Stephanie McMahon, and Sable. It's all going down, and it's all going down this Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. Don't you miss it.
6 Mountain, by the way, folks. I got to stick up for my time zone.
well, you both
5
suck.
Pacific. We also want to give a shout out to our fellow podcasters out there.
Not you
Shooting the
anymore.
breeze. Huh?
No, making a bad joke.
It was Shooting the Breeze, Connoisseurs of Wrestling, Busy's Wacky World, of course, the Ruthless Aggression Era, Two Guys, One Sport, and for Rocky Mountain Pro, if you want to find out anything about them, you can look them up on YouTube for some of their older stuff, or you can go to Twitch, look up Rocky Mountain Pro, and catch videos of seasons 1 and 2 of Charged. which is their weekly television show. It's only 1 hour,
It's
so
very
only
good.
takes an hour of your time. Plus, they have other good content going on, like Punished by Pixels and Wrestling with Technology and the show.
The more I watch Rocky Mountain Pro, the more I want to watch. You know, maybe not to the degree where you're at, where you're seeing it live, like in person. But what I've been able to do through Twitch. Like, oh, okay, now it's gonna happen. Where's this going?
So please give them a check out. You might, I think you're going to find it refreshing.
And on
They have
Thursdays,
characters, they have storylines, they've got good feuds. They have the milestone is coming up on August 11th, and that's going to be 8 years of celebrating Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy / Rocky Mountain Pro Wrestling. And one of their featured matches is going to be Al Snow versus his longtime friend and enemy, Stevie Richards.
that should be fun.
I just want to meet Al Snow. I hope Matt
I'm
can do that for me.
I'm not gonna make a crude joke. You're a lady. I'm not gonna make the obvious joke.
Make it. I've hung around oil field workers,
I'm not.
coal miners. Come on, I can take it.
I was gonna make a we all want head joke, but that's not appropriate. And Thursdays, it's just gonna get swings back. It's through Smart City. It's White Cat Wrestling. Usually 10 o'clock my time, 11 p.m. Eastern. You do the math from there.
10 Mountain.
Maybe no. See, this is why I said if it's 11 Eastern, it's 9 your time.
I thought you said 10 your time. Your time's central.
Yeah.
It's the vodka kicking in.
Wow. Oh, we've upgraded.
What?
We went from wine to. Oh, I wasn't even thinking that the last trip you had from wine to vodka. And
Yep.
nice.
I like my vodka every now and then,
I do too. I do.
especially with pineapple juice.
Nice.
And I like pineapple on my pizza.
Boo. Okay. So with all that being said, there will no longer be a violent wrestling podcast with me being a co-host, and AA is no longer allowed to be a guest on anything I do because pineapple on pizza is no. That's nope.
I have to ask Curtis Cole what he thinks about pineapple on pizza.
Oh, that'd be a fun discussion.
I'll have to ask him next time he's online.
And I saw something earlier where he was hosting it and he was playing Contra.
Yeah, then he switched over to um Street Fighter Ultra 4. It's what they do every Wednesday. They do called Punished by Pixels. They play games
Yeah,
from their childhood that always beat them, and it's fun to watch and listen to them.
I think it was earlier today that like, oh, I'm solo though. Usually they do more than one person. Yeah,
Usually
so
it's Curtis and Matt Yaden.
yeah, and I'm solo today, so watch me. And even he in the post was, I hate this game. Something to that effect.
Oh yeah, they really get into it, and it's not, and the language is not PG.
Yeah, they, we're not PG, so it's a fun watch. The wrestling, the like the game playing and stuff. It, and I've tried making my own opinion on things like I do always, but Curtis Cole is like legit. Like I like that dude.
Well,
Like
what's nice is also Matt got into the Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy, and you get to see the training going on of the new generation of indie wrestlers coming up.
yeah, there's a whole podcast, like I said earlier, where some people view it as WWE's ruining everything, getting all the well, and the indie scene. How's anybody else supposed to be noticed without having that spot? That's a whole podcast within itself. But Matt, do you have any closing words?
Not really. I think I said all I need to say. Don't think there's anything left.
No.
We'll get a hold of you.
Oh, well, you can find me on Twitter at MailMat15. I'm also on Cage Side Seats. Talk about I'm in the daily and nightly. As a matter of fact, I'm actually writing the nightly intro right now. The nightly is going to be on SummerSlam 2003. Making my way through all of the SummerSlams. Tonight is SummerSlam 2003, and it's funny because I'm actually going to have to watch this pay per view twice because I needed to watch it tonight for the nightly, and I'm also going to have to watch it next week when I talk about it on the podcast. So I'm going to have to watch it twice. But
Poor baby.
I actually do like this pay per view, so it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, so that's gonna be on the nightly, which is going to be posted in just a couple of minutes. You can also find me in the NXT threads and the SmackDown threads as well.
How about you, Mox?
What about me? Sorry.
How can people get a hold of you?
Um, just to go way left field, like you're killing me small. It's kind of left field. Get a hold of me at fireman6809 on Twitter. Um, please don't arrest me anywhere else. Um, but just to again, like I'm, I do a fantasy football league through Kingside Seats, which the once I quit talking to these people, love you guys. I love you so much. I'll be posting links to fantasy football for this current season. Um, and as always, violent wrestling without the G at Twitter is how you can reach us. Violent Wrestling Podcast with the G at gmail.com. It's any questions, anything like that. or you can find me in the streets and like, sorry, bad joke. How can they find you, AA?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Lady Roshana. That's LadyRoschana. You can find me on Cage Side Seats, the Ambrose Alley. You can find me on Twitch as Violent Wrestling Podcast without the G.
Nice. I sometimes don't want to be found. That's sorry, another bad joke. I'm really bad at jokes. That's my
That's
forte.
okay. We still love you.
Yeah, I still love you, but bad jokes is my go-to. Bad puns, bad. At least Becky does good puns, good jokes, and I'm just over here like, nobody got the joke, nobody got the pun. That's her parting words.
Parting words? Check out Rocky Mountain Pro on Twitch. Great indie wrestling promotion.
Matt.
I think it's just about it for me.
Okay, talk to you guys soon. Take care. Thank you all for listening.